Following a bright start to the season, results have been a bit hard to come by as of late as Portland searches for their first victory since June. Meanwhile, a mid-season slump for today's opponent has ended with 3 straight results, including 2 wins. It's match day 23 as Portland Timbers 2 welcomes expansion side New Mexico United to Soccer City, USA for the first time ever. Welcome into the broadcast booth here at Providence Park alongside 2-time MLS Cup champion and former Portland Timbers defender Nat Borchers. I'm Fletcher Johnson. Nat, for Portland Timbers 2, no wins since June 22nd, really looking to rediscover their form here as we head to the late summer.
Very, very important for them to regain their form, Fletcher. When you haven't won games in 7, it starts to really weigh on you psychologically. They did get a good result midweek against Colorado Springs, and I think that's going to be used for momentum in this game, but very important for them to come out early, come out and press, come out and play the game. They need to play at home. Certainly hoping that with a Timbers victory in MLS last night, a Thorns victory here earlier today, they can make it a 9-pointer at home for the organization this weekend. Meanwhile, for New Mexico United, this is an expansion side, but they don't play like it. 9 results in 13 tries on the road. And this is a smart team. It's a veteran team. It's a fun team to watch. So many attacking pieces that we can talk about, and certainly a team that just knows how to get results on the road. So this is going to be a very difficult matchup for this T2 team. Let's go ahead and take a look at the standings, and as you might guess, with the way that New Mexico has played on the road, they find themselves in playoff position currently in a tie for 5th place in the Western Conference on 33 points. Portland has slid down to 11th, but as you can tell, the standings so bunched up that an opportunity to climb back into heavy contention in the top 5-4 with a couple positive results and a couple wins. Portland's got a bunch of home games coming up, so we'll see if they can take advantage of that. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our players to watch this evening. We'll start off with Portland Timbers 2. Foster Langsdorff, a quiet sophomore season, so to speak, Nat, but picked up a game-tying goal in their last match against Colorado Springs. And look for him to just battle those center backs for New Mexico United. He does such a good job with his runs as well. He needs to make a lot of runs into the channel, needs to link up early with the midfield, and definitely when he gets into the box, finish his opportunities. Meanwhile, for New Mexico United, it's one that Cameron Knowles is probably having nightmares about. Kevon Frater had a hat trick the last time these two squared off, and he is a nightmare for defenders. He's a nightmare because he can match up with any type of game plan defensively. He can create goals, he can score goals, he's fast, he's powerful, he's big, he's also very smart. So anytime the ball goes into the offensive third for New Mexico United, look for this guy to be on the end of something. It was a lot of fun to watch this match take place down in Albuquerque at Isotopes Park back in April, a 3-3 draw with some late game heroics for New Mexico. See if Portland can get back to their winning ways. We'll get you starting lineups and opening kickoff next.
Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com.
And we're back at Providence Park once again, just about set for opening kickoff here between Portland Timbers 2 and New Mexico United. Let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineups. We'll start off with New Mexico United, 8-5-9 so far this season on 33 points. A 4-4-2 with 5 changes in front of Cody and Mizell. And as you look at things, you see Chris Wehan there in the middle of the park. Nat, will be interesting to see how he lines up and plays throughout this match. Yeah, with Devin Sandoval and Kevon Frater up top, it's going to be interesting to see where Wehan fits in that midfield. He's going to be really pulling the strings for the attacking options that they have up top. Meanwhile, for Portland Timbers 2, one change from the side. They got a 2-2 draw in Colorado Springs midweek. And the notable change is Caleb Kiner, youngest player to ever play in a T2 match. The Academy player's just over 16 years old. Also of note, Todd Wharton making his second straight start at center back. Eric Williamson had a brace against New Mexico United earlier this year.
We're used to seeing T2 play a 4-2-3-1. They're playing a 4-4-2 now. Eric Williamson's going to be tasked with getting that ball and providing the service into the forwards of Langsdorff and Calixtra. Both of those strikers need to be active if T2 is going to be successful offensively tonight.
It'll be really interesting to see how the 4-4-2s for either side match up against one another. Well, we're waiting for our whistle from head referee Greg Dobka. He will get us underway here momentarily. He's assisted by Seth Martin and Andrew Marahart on the far side. Katie Salvi is our fourth official today. New Mexico United will get us underway. Juan Pablo Guzman to kick us off, the 30-year-old from Bogota, Colombia. And Ryan Sierkowski, who's come on late in the year, the rookie out of Michigan State, has 3 goals and 2 assists so far this season. There's our whistle. We're underway from Providence Park. No, we're not. We're going to start it over as one of the New Mexico United players, either Devin Sandoval or Kevon Frater, went a little early. And now we are officially underway as it's a beautiful day here in Portland, following the second rainiest day of the year here yesterday. So the sunshine, a welcome sight here in Portland, about 73 degrees as the sun sets, and the field will go more into the shade as this match goes along. For Portland Timbers 2, 7-7-8 so far this year, 29 points. Got off to a really good start, picking up where they left off last season, making the playoffs for the first time in club history. But they have struggled as of late. Just a couple draws since June 22nd, the rest losses. So trying to rediscover what made them so successful early in the year. And boy, they'd like to see Foster Langsdorff get going as he picks this one up down in the corner.
And the starts are always important for this T2 team, especially at home, coming out with a ton of energy, getting the ball moving very, very quickly, putting their opponents under pressure. That sets a tone for you, a level that you want to see when you're playing at home.
Long switch from Dizpay. Nearly redirected by Smith to find a T2 head, but instead turned over to New Mexico United.
And we saw how aggressive New Mexico United wants to play. They had 5 guys at the stripe, just waiting, hungry to get in the opposite end of the field on the kickoff. But T2 doing a really good job of managing that so far, just making sure that they're not under pressure early on in this game and making good decisions on the ball.
Yeah, we talked with New Mexico United head coach Troy Layson earlier today, and really impressed and happy with how his team has played the big U.S. Open Cup run in which they defeated 2 opponents as this ball slipped in for Langsdorff and knocked away by Justin Schmidt and out for the first corner kick of the night. And this is one of the things that Layson talked with us about, Nat, is his team's ability to defend set pieces.
You see here, Calixtra just getting the ball, turning, finding that space, and it's a great run from Langsdorff in behind. Doesn't get the shot off, but an excellent job of those 2 linking up early on in this game, those 2 strikers.
Ojeda will be the man to take the corner kick, and this has been a weak spot for New Mexico United as of late. Set piece opportunities for the opponent. This ball comes in, headed away only to the top of the box to Langsdorff! Volley off the chest, and Portland has the lead in the 3rd minute.
You talk about having a great start to the match, wanting to put a team under pressure, wanting to get that first goal, and this is absolutely how you do it. Ball doesn't get cleared properly. Foster Langsdorff takes his touch wonderfully off the chest. Does such a nice job here, backing up, finding a little bit of space, and just banging that goal into the far corner. What a strike for Foster Langsdorff. What a start for T2, 1-0 to the home team.
And it was what Portland needed. Now goals in consecutive matches for Foster Langsdorff. He's got 6 on the year. Now we talked a little bit about the sophomore slump he's had this season after scoring 14 goals in 2018, but hopefully this is the beginning of things to come with the matches coming down the stretch for Portland. As Foster Langsdorff gets hot, there's an opportunity for Portland here to really start to take advantage of what lies in front of them.
I think the knock on Foster this year was that he needed somebody to play off of, somebody up top to make sure that he had a little bit more space to play in. So Cameron Knowles added in Gio Calixto up top for him to give him a partner, and yeah, they've still been searching for the relationship they want to have up top, but early on in this game, it's been very, very good. But as a striker, this is the way you want to start a game, Fletcher. Just what a ball, what a great, fantastic finish, great technique, lovely job from Foster Langsdorff to finish that one.
All looking for Frater over the top from Akamatsu. Too much on it. Will roll across the end line, but yeah, Foster Langsdorff has shown the ability at times. There's been, as we talk about consistently with this Portland Timbers 2 side, players coming in, players going out, whether it be to the MLS Timbers or otherwise. It's tough to find that consistency. You've got players like Todd Wharton and a few others that have been consistently in the lineup, but there has been a lot of rotation through, as Dobko will ask Ivicic to restart once again from the goal kick. But it's tough, Nat, when you're trying to balance, especially for Cameron Knowles, when you're trying to balance getting results, but also with so much transition in your starting 11 match to match.
Yeah, and you look at guys who've been performing for T2, guys like Renzo Zambrano last year, Marvin Luria, guys who got called up to Timbers, and it doesn't create the kind of consistency you want to have when you need those players. Asprilla has been in and out of this team, and he's provided 7 goals on the campaign, and so you want to have those guys week to week. You want to be able to train with them, give them the game plan, give them your ideas when you're a coach, but when you don't have that, it makes it tremendously difficult. So caps off to Cam Knowles for the job he's done with this group so far.
This one will get all the way to Ivicic. I mean, despite the lack of results Portland has had as of late, it's not because they're not scoring goals. I mean, this is a team that has scored a bunch of goals this year, is still in the top 10 in the league, 8th in the league in goals scored with 40 so far this season. And I mean, when you take that into consideration, Nat, you really start to wonder, 40 goals so far through 22 matches, you know, you're scoring well over 2 a game. As this one comes in from Anguiano. Not sure if he was really shooting that, and if he did, he didn't quite catch all of it. But this is a team that just, it seems like the moments haven't gone their way the last month or so.
Yeah, and you go into situation spells, if you will, when you're in a season where you're not getting your best results, and you may be playing well, but you're just not getting the results you may have wanted. You're putting together a half of soccer, but you're not putting together the second half. And I think Cam Knowles has been a bit frustrated by that recently, just playing the first 45 minutes well, and then the second 45 minutes not well, and then key moments, you know, not being switched on, and you know that can kill you in this game. So certainly being able to put together a full 90 would be amazing for Cam Knowles' troops tonight. And I think that's always going to be the aim, and I think the start's been very good from them so far.
Williamson's called for the foul, taking down Santi.
We talked about it earlier, Fletcher, just about the struggles to keep a clean sheet as well. That's something that Cam Knowles, as a former center back, would take pride in, and that's very, very difficult, again, when you're dealing with inconsistencies with your lineup.
This ball comes in towards Sandoval. Will roll to the back post to Akamatsu. Shot taken, miss hit. And Portland clears to midfield. That was Padilla who tried to put the shot on frame. New Mexico continues to possess in the back.
This is a New Mexico team, though, that is used to having control. It's used to establishing a rhythm. We talked to Coach Lassane earlier today, Fletcher, and he talked about that being one of his key points in this game, being able to establish that possession, being able to move the ball very quickly. We know it's a team that can create chances, but they're always going to be at their best when they have the ball and they're in possession.
Yeah, 9 results in 13 tries for New Mexico United on the road. And in our chat with the coach earlier today, he basically said it's because we're comfortable playing with the ball, we're comfortable playing without the ball, and we don't really change a lot when we go out on the road. Here's Santi, defended by the youngster Caleb Kiner. Ball comes in, Santi lays it off for Weehan, and his shot is high.
It's been a really strong response from this New Mexico United team after giving up the goal. They're putting T2 under a lot of pressure here. Really good movement. I think the thing that impresses me most, Fletcher, about this team is the movement. Very fluid up top with their front four, even their outside backs get involved in the offensive play, and they seem to have a very good balance too to them.
There's Gio Calixtro, first time we called his name tonight, spraying the ball out to Nathan Smith. See Todd Wharton wearing the captain's armband, knocking it over to Dispay. Kiner tries to touch it around Suggs.
Ryan Sierakowski doing a really good job of covering there for Caleb Kiner. Caleb Kiner going to have a difficult task for himself today. Tough matchup with Santi Moar. He's only 16 years old. Definitely given up a bit in terms of experience to that outside midfielder, and certainly very important for him to make sure his positioning is well. So Dispay is going to need to talk to him. Sierakowski's going to have to be there for him. Eric Williamson, everybody's going to have to be on the same page for him just to make sure that he's comfortable back there defending.
Langsdorff takes down Weehan in the center circle. Quickly restarted. Nice ball over to the far side there from Guzman. This ball in for Sandoval. Finds his head, but he can't steer it on frame. Lucky there as Dispay was in a bit of trouble with the big man Devin Sandoval.
And Dispay just switches off for half a second there as Devin Sandoval gets in behind. Should do better with that. Devin Sandoval needs to get his head down, try to get that shot on target. It's a really good run in behind from the center striker. And it's a good warning sign for the T2 backline. Got to stay switched on in those moments.
Devin Sandoval, a player you know well, Nat, having played with him during your time at Real Salt Lake. Devin Sandoval was there, and we actually had the pleasure of chatting with Devin Sandoval earlier today as well, as Portland continues to possess in the attacking third. Ball out to Smith, prep touch, will cut it back, find Anguiano, looks back post for Sierakowski. Sierakowski goes up, just a little over his head. But a good look from Anguiano to look for Sierakowski at the back post.
That's really good movement there from T2. Just finding the seams, getting the ball out wide. And then nice cutback here from Smith. Anguiano in the right spot to find the back post run. Sierakowski just doesn't time his jump quite right. Not able to get on the end of that one, but some very good stuff there from T2. But yeah, back to Devin Sandoval, Fletch. I think I still have some bruises from his elbows and his big body, and he was a rookie when he came in and played with RSL, and to see his career so far and how advanced he is in terms of his experience and his knowledge and his hold-up play, his finishing, he's come a long way, and just an absolute professional. Devin Sandoval, real pleasure to play with.
Comes Suggs carrying it forward, play it out to Santi. Santi defended by Kiner. Will float this ball in. Looked like Frater may have won the header in front of Wharton. Anyways, Falls got back out to Santi. Santi's pass looking for Suggs is cut out by Sierakowski. Down the line for Calixtro. Calixtro does well to hold up. And Portland able to release the pressure.
Really like how Calixtro and Langsdorff have stayed very, very close in this game. They've already combined a couple of different times. You want to see that from your two strikers when you're playing in this 4-4-2 formation. They have to stay close, they have to combine, they have to stay connected to make themselves dangerous in the offensive third and in the buildup.
And at the last time we had an opportunity to watch this T2 team was that July 28th match against Los Dos. They just did not look to be in the right frame of mind in that match and on the same page with one another. And I feel like already tonight, with just the one change from the midweek match, they seem more of a cohesive unit than we've seen in a while.
Yeah, they do, and I wonder if that's something that Cam Knowles has been talking to them about, just staying a little bit closer together, making sure that their runs are offsetting. One goes in behind, one checks to the ball, making it difficult for the back line to understand the movements, and just making things just a little bit sharper. And sometimes coming home helps to do that. Certainly after being on the road, makes it a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more easy.
It's a T2 team that doesn't mind playing on the road as well. Frankly, based off of their record, you'd think that away matches were more home matches than otherwise. As Ojeda's taken down, and a yellow card will be shown to the right back, Manny Padilla. So Manny Padilla, the first yellow card shown tonight by head referee Greg Dopka.
You know, Ojeda just trying to flick the ball over Padilla. He overcommits, has to make the foul there. The referee does the right thing, calls the foul and gives the yellow card. Certainly a professional foul there from Padilla.
Portland, though, as we look at their home record, just 1, 2, and 3 here at Providence Park. They're 3, 3, and 4 overall at home. They had 4 matches they played at Merlo Field over on the campus of the University of Portland early in the year as Providence Park was continuing to be renovated. But as I mentioned, 3, 3, and 4. They're 4, 4, and 4 on the road this year. So hoping to even up the win total between home matches and road matches today as they hold a 1-0 victory, or 1-0 lead, I should say, hoping for a 1-0 victory over New Mexico United thanks to a 3rd-minute goal from Foster Langsdorff.
But yeah, it's a real head scratcher, Fletcher, to figure out why they haven't been as good at home as they have been on the road. And sometimes that's just stylistically, it could be that they really enjoy playing in transition and they're more comfortable letting another team carry the game. And when you go home, sometimes you want to carry the game, and so that it opens you up a little bit and takes you out of what your comfort level is. And so I wonder if that's not the case with this T2 team. They really want to have the other team be on the front foot to really absorb pressure, then break, because they're such a good transition team.
Sierakowski cuts out the Santi cross, but it'll end up in the first corner kick of the afternoon for New Mexico United.
Yeah, Suggs and Moar have done a really good job of combining on that left-hand side, and it's really going to put the onus there on the outside back Kiner and on Sierakowski to defend. Sierakowski doing a really good job there.
One of the things to look for with New Mexico United, they have a very high conversion rate. Santi will play the corner short to Sandoval, who plays it back, ball in. Frater knocks over Todd Wharton and will be called for the foul.
New Mexico United electing to do the short corner here. It's not a great cross in, but it does find Frater, who was adjudged to have fouled Wharton. You can just see the tail end of that one there. Looks like he pushed him over. Doesn't look too happy with the call, but I think it's the right one.
But New Mexico United, one of the things you can look for with plenty of body of work, 22 matches, every 5 shots New Mexico United scores. Their conversion rate is 20%. They're not in the top 15 in the league in terms of shots taken. But when they shoot, they score.
That's an impressive stat. And you have to think that if you can convert those chances more often than other teams, you're going to win more games. And certainly they have the experience. They've got the firepower. And again, they're just such a good team offensively with their movement. We've already seen it a lot tonight just in terms of their front 3, front 4, how they move around. It's going to be difficult to break down this T2 team, though. I think they've come to play.
Eric Williamson cuts out that pass to Calixtro. Good work to find Sierakowski, and the break could be on for Portland if they hurry. Here comes Nathan Smith. He's got options to his right. Dribbles all the way into the box. Looks back post for Calixtro, who tries a cheeky outside of the right boot shot, but does not come off.
T2 showing that they can also do a really good job with their offensive movement. It's a great counterattack. I like what Sierakowski did there. He was able to come inside, really advance the ball on the break. Good transition from T2, and then Calixtro just not finding that ball on target, but very, very well done from T2. I think the longer this game goes, when T2's up 1-0, the more opportunities are going to be for them as New Mexico United starts opening up.
On Pablo Guzman, over to Akamatsu. Portland happy to concede a bit of possession here as long as it's around the midfield stripe. And a foul here on Suggs, taking down Langsdorff, who is being a pest, and Suggs will go in the book. So a quick yellow for the left back for New Mexico.
Suggs coming inside, trying to create in that hole there. Just gets a little careless on the ball. Foster Langsdorff pestering him, has to take him down. The professional foul. Really the right call from the referee there. He got Padilla earlier, so 2 two players from New Mexico United now on yellow cards, both outside backs.
Tune in to ESPN News on August 21st at 4 p.m. for a Wednesday night soccer matchup between two of the best in the East. North Carolina FC welcomes in Eastern Conference leaders Tampa Bay Rowdies with playoff positioning battles heating up. See it all August 21st at 4 p.m. on Wednesday night soccer on ESPN News.
I was going to say, Fletcher, as New Mexico United builds, it's interesting to see where Suggs shows up, because he shows up sometimes as a holding midfielder, which is definitely a bit interesting. Just in terms of adding an extra number in that midfield as an outside back. So an opportunity for T2 when he does come centrally. If they lose the ball to New Mexico United, that channel is wide open for them.
Big collision there between Dizpay and Sandoval, and Dizpay looks to have gotten the worst of it. He's going back down. He got quickly back up to get into position, but now back down laying on his back.
Yeah, see Big Dev there coming in hard on Dizpay. He's an absolute rock, Devin Sandoval, and Dizpay just getting the worst for wear on that one, unfortunately.
So as they check out Dizpay, Aiden Brown, one of the assistants for Cameron Knowles, will chat with Todd Wharton, the captain, who comes over for a quick conversation. Got a couple defenders on the bench, does Cameron Knowles. Max Elliott, the academy player, as well as Max Ornstill, who has been with this T2 side for a couple of years. Elliott appears to be warming up, so we'll have to watch and see. It was definitely a hard collision to the midsection for Dizpay.
And I wonder, Fletcher, if he just didn't get the wind knocked out of him from that challenge, just the way he was holding his arms up on the ground and just trying to get his bearings right now, moving his legs around. Looks like he's going to be okay.
Certainly appears to be that way as he is up. And we'll walk over to the sideline. Bit of a break for the two teams. Not hot today, about 75 degrees. And the field in the shade right now due to some cloud cover, but will be entirely in the shade by the time we reach halftime. Portland's done a really good job of keeping Kevon Frater and Devin Sandoval quiet. I mean, you look at this attack for New Mexico United. Frater's got 13 goals, Sandoval's got 4, Weehan's got 6, and Santi's got 9. So, I mean, that's all of your scoring if you're New Mexico United, and those are the players you're going to have to try and do your best to contain.
And between the four of them, we've only talked about Devin Sandoval and his early chance there getting in behind Dizpay. And other than that, T2 has done a really good job defensively.
Williamson does well to work his way around one man, gets past Guzman, still with it, finds Langsdorff, cleared off the line. Did it go in? No. Portland still with it, top of the box. Langsdorff shoots, and he is hot. He felt that ball crossed the line. Let's take another look, as this will be a corner kick for Portland.
Eric Williamson just twisting and turning inside that box, doing a fantastic job of finding the space. Langsdorff peels off there. Looks to me like the defender gets the ball before it crosses the line there. So it's a good no call from the official in terms of awarding the goal.
Tite was the man who cleared it off the line. Back across the box, Sierakowski rises, still in the air. And Sierakowski's shot is wide.
And T2 just really putting the pressure on New Mexico United right now. Set pieces, making it very difficult for them. Anguiano just with the second opportunity there to hit it across to Langsdorff, who finds Sierakowski. Calixto has the opportunity to flick it on. Falls to Sierakowski, who can't get the ball in frame, but T2 looking very dangerous and New Mexico United looking very vulnerable on those set pieces.
And this is what Troy Lesesne told us earlier today, is he's concerned about his team on the set pieces. That's where they've given their goals up in matches as of late, even though they've gotten results in their last 3. And you'd figure with a big body like Devin Sandoval in there, you wouldn't be as concerned that he would just find his way to the ball, as well as the experience of Justin Schmidt, Josh Suggs, but it's been an issue for New Mexico United. Portland took advantage the first time and nearly had another goal there. As Portland commits the foul, Williamson tugs on the jersey of Kevon Frater. And a dangerous restart here for New Mexico United, chance to send it into the mixer.
Yeah, it's just a really silly foul there from Williamson to give that one up. The Frater had just won possession. He had his back to goal. No need to foul there. Stand him up. Now you give away a dangerous attack there here from New Mexico United.
25th minute. Fletcher Johnson, Nat Borchers here with you. As Portland looking to maintain their 1-0 lead. Wharton and Frater getting into it, and will be spoken to by Greg Dubka. And remember, Frater got an opportunity to shoot, but Dubka blew his whistle, saying that Frater pushed Wharton to the ground to get open for the shot.
Frater already showing a little bit of frustration here on the way. Wharton's matching up against him. And just watching the two of them battle there. I think Frater's just making a meal out of that one, trying to get the referee's favor.
Portland does well to keep possession, and then Frater fouls Nathan Smith. Frater from Portmore United, same club that former Portland Timber Alvis Powell played at. Spent a good amount of time there before coming to the United States, played for Phoenix Rising, and has now really made himself at home with New Mexico United. A pest, but also someone strong that can be difficult to deal with inside the box. Wharton's done a good job thus far.
And Devin Sandoval called Kevon Frater the X factor, and just in terms of what he can do in game with these key moments, and how he can score goals and assist on goals, and his movement, and you just see how well built the guy is too. He's an absolute matchup nightmare for any defender.
Kiner with the loose touch, shielded off the ball. Out to Dispay, but Portland quickly win it back, as Sandoval couldn't control.
Well, T2 doing a really good job with their pressure here after losing the ball, just winning it back, being tight to the striker. Good job from the center backs from T2.
All down the line for Langsdorff. He's taken down by Schmidt. A restart for Portland, and Ojeda will come over to take.
See Foster Langsdorff making the run into that channel there. Suggs is way too high. The center back, Schmidt, has to come over and cover. Fouls Langsdorff pretty clearly there. I think that's been good to see from Langsdorff, to see how bright he's been in running into those channels and trying to get on the end of things. That's his game, really trying to run the channels, trying to be active, trying to be a pest defensively. He's done all those things.
So Ojeda's ball in, looking near post, finds ahead of Calixtro. It's too low for Calixtro to really do much with, though, and ends up in a goal kick. Yeah, Foster Langsdorff, I don't know about you now, but from what we've seen at home this year, I would say this has been one of the most active half hours we've seen from him at home this season. And this kind of speaks to, though, how difficult it can be for a player who is making the transition from being a collegiate player to a pro. Does it the first year, but then that second year more is expected of you, and it becomes a little bit more of a challenge because now people know what you're about.
Yeah, and I think your opponents can read up on you, and they know exactly what kind of things to expect from you, so they're ready for that battle. They're ready for those movements. They're ready for those runs, and then you have to adapt as a player. You have to figure out different ways to be dangerous, different ways to be engaged in the game, and I think that's been part of the learning process for Foster Langsdorff.
Here's Suggs, ball in, finds the head of Frater, but he can't keep it down.
New Mexico United really trying to attack down this left-hand side. Not a whole lot coming out of it. Wonder when they'll start moving the ball a little bit more, trying to find that opposite side, trying to find some different areas in which to attack.
Trying to take advantage of the youngster, youngest player ever to start a T2 match, Caleb Kiner. Made a substitute appearance midweek in Colorado Springs and gets the start here this evening. 16 years, 10 months old. And truly what Portland Timbers 2 is all about, developing young players, academy players, to come in and be able to make a difference not only at the USL level with Portland Timbers too, but also at the MLS level with the Portland Timbers potentially. Portland pressuring high. Schmidt, a bad giveaway to Foster Langsdorff. Langsdorff taken down hard by Guzman. No, they say that it was all ball from Guzman. Good win by the Colombian. Gives New Mexico the ball back. Padilla attacking down the far side, 1v1 versus Smith. Now we'll float it towards the back post. Kiner wins the header, finds Sierakowski, who helps it on only as far as Guzman, and then his header goes straight to Anguiano. Anguiano plays forward for Langsdorff. Langsdorff, first touch lets him down a bit. Got a couple runners if he wants to use them. This time, Tate. Langsdorff does well to win it back to over the top for Calixtro, and Suggs forced to play it out for another corner kick.
You can see how vulnerable this New Mexico United team has been in these transition counterattack moments, and T2 has done a fairly good job of opening them up and finding those spaces.
Third corner kick of the night for Portland. They scored a goal off the first one, created some dangerous opportunities off of the second one. Let's see what they can do with number 3.
Well, and they also zonal defend, which is something I personally dislike, and it opens up a ton of spaces for T2 to run into.
Ball floated towards the penalty spot. Wharton with the touch. Langsdorff able to get to it, goes down, and New Mexico clears. Portland are 7 consecutive without a win. And believe it or not, we talk about the struggles at home for Portland. Just 15 of their, make it 16 of their 41 goals now have come at home. Now granted, they played more road matches than home matches, but this has not been a place that's been kind to T2 so far this season. They hope that that changes as they've got a big stretch of home games coming up down the road, 6 in a row starting September 8th. So big opportunity to make up some points for T2.
And this is a crucial time of the season, isn't it, Fletcher, when you have 7 games where you haven't played.
Here's Langsdorff, he'll shoot. Blocked by Mizell. And then Ojeda coming over. Can't steer it on frame, but Ojeda with a dangerous look. He's got a pair of goals this season, was looking for a third.
Yeah, T2 just really finding those spaces in front of that back four. Foster Langsdorff just peeling off that back four, getting the opportunity to turn and shoot. And then Ojeda coming in with the rebound. But T2 looking really good in the midfield, Fletcher, just with Williamson and Anguiano just stringing passes together, just cutting right through this New Mexico United defense in transition.
Big switch from Schmidt over to Padilla. Rather, that's Akamatsu. Controls down in front of Smith, and then Smith fouls Akamatsu. A restart right near the sideline for New Mexico United. Get updates. Well, now we're going to play quick. Akamatsu into the box, just in front of Frater, rolls all the way through to Santi. Santi still with it, will shoot. Takes a deflection off of Dizpay, and a corner kick, the second of the night for New Mexico.
T2 just falling asleep there, Fletcher. Got to be more switched on in those situations. Don't turn your back on the ball. Nathan Smith arguing the foul with the referee while New Mexico United electing to play here. It's almost too late when the ball comes across there, and Moar with the opportunity here to find the far post. Just ricochets off Devin Sandoval.
That's right, it did go off Sandoval, so it was a goal kick for Portland, and they're already quickly into the attacking half.
You know, we're 33 minutes in, Fletcher, and we still haven't called Chris Wehan's name. He's been such a big factor in the attack, especially the last few games for this New Mexico United team. We were wondering where he's going to fit in to this midfield, and he really hasn't been that active. He hasn't been getting on the ball. He hasn't been providing service to those front two. And you think that T2 has done just a really good job, I think, of just staying compact and organized and not allowing him a ton of space.
Ivicic made a few starts now for T2. Been dealing with injuries throughout the course of the season as Tate controls in front of Calixtro, now into space for Suggs, who has worked his way forward from his left back spot. Here's Wehan. Finds Suggs. Hit it back and forth now, but New Mexico controls. Sandoval. Bit of extended pressure here for the first time from New Mexico United. Ball in, headed away by Wharton. And out to touch. Get updates and alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for Portland Timbers 2 and then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores, plus get reminders on Portland Timbers 2's next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. Long throw in, looking for Frater, goes off of his head, rolls to the penalty spot before Ojeda is able to clear out to touch.
And we saw New Mexico United against the Austin Bowl scored an early goal off of a throw-in. They're very switched on these set pieces, Fletcher. We've already seen them play very, very quickly, and then having a long throw in your locker also makes things very, very dangerous. I hated that as a center back. Every time the ball went out for a throw-in, having to match up like it was a corner kick.
Well, and there was as the offside flag goes up on Akamatsu, it's a player in USL, I believe he still might be around, but who did the old flip throw.
Yeah.
That always threw a little wrinkle into the mix.
Matt Beasler from Sporting Kansas City had a long throw, and every time the ball went out and we were playing away at Sporting Kansas City, it was like, oh, here we go again. We got to set up like it's a corner kick. Get elbowed in the face again.
Well, and it's something that you see well, you see it a little bit more in the game now, but you used to see it so rarely that the ball comes in differently than it does off the foot. It's floating, it can hang up there a little bit more. I got to imagine it's a little bit tougher to judge since it's not something you're going to deal with on a regular basis.
Absolutely, but with two big strikers like Kevon Frater and Devin Sandoval, you have to think that New Mexico United can definitely play for those moments.
Ball into Wehan. Dizpe gets back central as Kiner was there to cover. Top of the box to Akamatsu. Go out to Wehan, who's onside. Wehan, cross in. Dizpe, an important touch as Frater was there. Dizpe was falling backwards. Had he not got a touch to that, it would have gotten to the feet of Frater. Now here comes Portland the other way. Space for Sierakowski. Langsdorf. Anguiano looking for Calixtro, just too much on it.
And you could see the idea there from Anguiano. The run just wasn't timed quite well enough from Calixtro, trying to get in behind there, but Suggs definitely getting up into the attack, committing himself into the attack. He's opening up a ton of space there for T2 just to attack into, and Schmidt's really left on an island there when Suggs doesn't get down and get connected with him.
Flag stays down on Frater. Aljaž Ivacic all the way out of his box. That took a touch off of Devin Sandoval, but the referee did not see it. And New Mexico keep possession.
It's a nice long ball in there. Ivacic does well to get off his line. Almost makes a mess of it, but does well enough. Should have been a T2 throw in there. Unfortunate not to get the call, but a good long ball there from New Mexico United. T2 holding a fairly high line. Definitely need to test them if you're New Mexico United in behind.
Wehan loses possession. Now Portland on the break once again. Anguiano out for Calixtro. Sierakowski joining in the attack. Calixtro over to Ojeda. Settles top of the box. Anguiano chance to shoot, blocked by Tete. Brief shouts for a handball, but New Mexico come away with it.
Yeah, we see T2 again finding space centrally, Fletch. They seem to have been doing such a good job with that transition play and then finding that space on the top of the box. It seems like it's wide open. I think Guzman and Wehan have both been committed to the attack so much that there's tons of space in there for T2 to attack into.
1-0 Portland, 38th minute, thanks to a third-minute goal from Foster Langsdorf. As Portland looks to end their winless run at 7. Long way to go in this one. Dizpe wins the header, sends it straight back to Frater. Frater looking through for Santi. Kiner is there to give up a throw. Let's take another look at the shot from Anguiano.
Looks like from here that it hit the arm of Tete. To me, I think he was holding his midsection, trying to show the referee that that's where it hit him, but I think it hits him in the arm. Definitely an argument there from T2 that could be a possible penalty kick or at least foul on the top of the box.
Yeah, I guess that's the question of, with his arms being up, they are in an unnatural position, but are they within the frame of his shoulders to prevent it from being a handball call. The interesting thing is in situations like that, you usually see the head referee kind of wave it off and say no if he sees it hit the hand, but you almost wonder if Greg Dobka saw it, his arms being in that position at all, given that there was really no gesturing from the head referee.
Well, and there's also wasn't reactions from the other players around him, Fletcher, and that's usually a clear sign there was some sort of infraction or some sort of a handball. The players would gesture to their hands. So you make a good point, though. He did have his arms in and around the body, and I think it would have been very harsh if the referee had blown his whistle in that instance.
So a foul called on T2 as Frater went down. Gives Weehan a chance to restart here. Man has 5 assists, does Chris Weehan, the California native. And an opportunity to send the ball into the box. Floated in towards a penalty spot. Back post for Suggs, who gets his left foot to it, but straight to Ivicic. And here comes Portland the other way.
Head down, right shoulder, Padilla coming backside. Up! 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 Oh.
What a chance that was for New Mexico United. T2 falling asleep a little bit at the wheel, not finding the runner there.
And that's what it's been about, Nat. It's been about moments.
And you look at the time of the half right now, Fletcher. This is the final 5 minutes in the half. And these are the moments when, as a team, you need to come together and say, okay, we're up a goal. We've been playing very well. We've had control of this game. We have to be smart. This is the time of the game. You can't give anything up. You have to play very smart, very simple. And make sure if you can go into half 1-0, give yourself an excellent opportunity to come out of this game with 3 points.
Suggs picks it up all the way forward. Now to Santi. Defended by Kiner. Anguiano over to defend Suggs. Suggs tries to cut around 1-2 man. Anguiano does well to shield Suggs from the ball, and Suggs fouls him.
That's really good work from Anguiano because Kiner's actually beat there, but Anguiano follows the runner from his central position, does a great job of just using his body to prevent Suggs from being dangerous.
Yeah, Anguiano's not exactly a big guy in stature. We know Kiner isn't being just 16 years old, but Anguiano 5'8", 120, holding off Josh Suggs 6'1", 175. So good work from Anguiano, playing above his weight level, so to speak, in that battle.
That's what I love about this game, Fletcher. It's not how big you are, it's how big you play, and Anguiano definitely showing he can play big.
And frankly, that's a play that Anguiano probably doesn't make last year. Doesn't have the ability to make last year, but because he's gotten the opportunity to play in these games, he's prepared for a scenario like that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Comes Padilla down the right side. As New Mexico started to really control this match late in the second half. Although for some bad passes like that to give Portland opportunities. Here comes Sierakowski. He's got Langsdorff and Calixtro with him. Couple step overs. Decides to lay it off to Kiner. Kiner first time cross in. Weehan knocks it down and Suggs clears. Dispay. Not necessarily the cleanest stuff in front of Frater, but doesn't do enough with it, and then Williamson wins the ball, takes down Frater in the process, and will receive a yellow card. This will be an interesting one to take a look at, Nat, as Williamson got his right foot on the ball, but will receive the caution, first one issued to T2 today.
Yeah, Williamson just coming back here to defend. Looks like he gets the ball on that replay. We'll take a look at a different angle. Does he get the ball first? Yes, he does. I think that's a poor call from the referee. Shouldn't be a yellow card, shouldn't be a foul. Should be just a play on. I'm surprised, certainly, at the call. It gives New Mexico the opportunity now to get an opportunity on goal.
Yeah, the contact was going to come one way or another with the way the two players were approaching the ball, and Dobka saw it differently and gives New Mexico an opportunity for the restart. from about 40 yards away. Float this one back post. Suggs unmarked there, sends it central. Smith doesn't really clear it well, but then Sierakowski's able to help it out to midfield.
And that's twice now that Suggs has been wide open on that far post. T2 has to figure out that matchup, has to get somebody over there into that space to prevent him from getting on the ball.
Sandoval called for the foul on Dispay. So 45th minute, we'll play another 45 seconds plus stoppage time here at the end of the first half. Couple chances for both teams. Portland currently out shooting New Mexico 10-7. Sierakowski heads along but can't keep it in play. And we'll play 2 minutes of stoppage time here at the end of the first half, which will begin in about 15 seconds. Badia to Tete, and then to Suggs. Diagonal run by Frater, picks it up corner of the box, going against Dispay. And Arturo Dispay does well, Adrian Dispay rather, to win out. But then Anguiano dispossessed by Frater. Santi mishits it into the box, and then a mishit clearance by Wharton. Sierakowski shielding. Now back to Kiner. Plays long for Langsdorff, who just can't quite control it. Only 2 defenders back for New Mexico, but ball was just a little too high for Langsdorff to control.
Yeah, Dispay doing very well defensively against Kevon Frater. 1v1 matchup, able to win the ball cleanly off the striker. Dispay's had an excellent game thus far. It's going to have to keep it up, though. Definitely expect New Mexico United to continue with this kind of a pressure into the next half.
Akamatsu controls in front of Smith. Now to Weehan. Out to Guzman and Akamatsu. Left-footed in-swinger. Dispay wins the header. Now to Weehan, shoots, blocked by Dispay. Headed on by Williamson. 45 seconds left remaining. And here comes Ojeda, who will slow it down. Play it to Williamson, now to Sierakowski. Portland does have some numbers forward if they want to attack. And now New Mexico recovers.
Really smart there from Ojeda just to bring that ball back and to switch to the point of attack here. T2's have done a really good job at this half, staying in control, in possession, and then staying in control defensively. Some really good switches of play as well.
Nice idea by Williamson, but cut out, and that is the end of the first half. So Foster Langsdorff's 3rd minute goal has Portland out in front at the break. Langsdorff's 6th goal of the year, 2nd consecutive match with a goal. And a bright start for Portland. New Mexico grew as the match went along. Be interesting to see how these two teams head into halftime and what we have in the second half. But what we know right now, with 45 minutes in the books, Portland on top of New Mexico United 1-0 here at the break. Coming up, we'll get you some storylines from around the league, update you on some scores pertinent to these two teams, and more coming up as Portland Timbers 2-1, New Mexico United 0.
Fortune can hit from here. Oh!
McCarthy once more!
Blasted back in, and it's a goal for North Carolina FC.
Big shot, and he scored!
And Ben Spees lets one fly and drills it.
Where he didn't fit in with Bethlehem and really Philadelphia. Prater, lofting, header snapped in. New Mexico to run away with it. Weehan stealing it now.
The ball. Fortune can hit from here. Oh! And how about North Carolina FC?
Plays it with Cooper, gets the return ball. Now Chavez to have a goal! What a strike from Ivan Chavez! His fourth of the year at Fresno FC.
Moto flipping it in towards the...
Oh, what a save! Zendejas in a second save!
Santos was in behind. Oh, that's the one. Toby had a ball and it's in 1-0. Don't stop him now. His second goal of the year has Pittsburgh.
And welcome back to Providence Park here, halftime in Portland, Oregon, as Portland Timbers 2 on top of New Mexico United 1-0 at the break, thanks to a third-minute goal from Foster Langsdorff. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the scores around USL at this point, well past the midway point of the season. And a couple of the scores we wanted to highlight tonight. Los Dos 3-1 over Austin Bold. San Antonio FC a big 4-1 win over Reno 1868. As those results certainly affecting what's going on around Portland in the USL Championship Western Conference. Meanwhile, some of the storylines specifically as it relates to Portland Timbers 2 and the Timbers organization. You have 13 different players who have scored in 22 matches, showing just the diversity in terms of what Portland can put out on the field and the different players that come into the starting 11 and play for this T2 side. Meanwhile, Marvin Luria, Jeremy Abobasi scored for the MLS Timbers in a victory over the Vancouver Whitecaps 3-1 last night, Nat, in a match that you had the opportunity to watch close up, and it's been really impressive to see the development of Marvin Luria.
Yeah, it's been great to see how explosive he's been at this level and how much of a difference and an impact he has made with that wonderful left foot of his, scoring goals and being active in the attack.
Meanwhile, Stand Together Week wrapped up for the Timbers organization. Over 980 volunteers participated, over 2,500 hours. And Nat, I know you were a part of it as well, doing some work around the community.
Some blood, sweat, and tears in the community for me. Fletch got down and dirty, and this was a fun one just to go out into Tryon Creek and clean up some of the trails and enjoy some time with some of these volunteers and some of the rest of the Timbers organization. Just a fantastic way to give back to the community.
Yeah, in a way that the Timbers players and T2 players have an opportunity to get out into the community as well. As we welcome you back into the broadcast booth once again here at the break. Fletcher Johnson, Nat Borchers here with you. And Nat, first half in the books. Wanted to see what Portland would come out and play like after a big midweek road result in Colorado Springs, and what'd you see from them in the first half?
I think this is one of the better halves of soccer we've seen from T2 at home, Fletcher. They did a really good job of coming out with energy. They controlled the game defensively. They transitioned really, really well offensively. And of course, they took their chances on set pieces.
New Mexico certainly grew into the match, were brighter as things went along, but let's go ahead and take a look at some of the first half highlights from this one. As we see in the third minute, Foster Langsdorff with a big strike off the set piece, and we knew this was going to be a big opportunity for Portland in this match.
And this is absolutely how you want to start a game. Foster Langsdorff just sets that one up with his chest on the clearance from New Mexico United, and look at the technique from this guy just to smash it to that far corner. Cody Mizell, zero chance on that one. Foster Langsdorff saying, that's the first chance of the game. I'm going to take it. I'm going to score.
It was really the Foster Langsdorff show in the first half, as he had another opportunity in the 23rd.
And then you see Eric Williamson doing a great job there of just weaving his way in through traffic. Foster Langsdorff getting on the end of it. Just look at him peel off that back line, and then some shouts for the ball going over the line. I don't think it went over the line, but really good work from Langsdorff and Williamson there.
9 minutes forward, another opportunity for Portland.
Yeah, Portland doing a good job of finding the space in front of the back for Foster Langsdorff again, getting on the ball, turning and playing this ball, smashing it at goal. Mizell doing a good job there defensively. Then Ojeda coming in on the rebound.
New Mexico had 8 shots in the first half. This was one of them from Josh Suggs.
Yeah, and then this was an instance where the warning signs for T2 got to mark Suggs on the back post. Nobody does it. He should do better with this opportunity. Goes right to Ivacic, though. Fortunate, very fortunate for T2.
So as we take a look at some of the stats now and think about some of the stats in the first half from this one, Portland, as mentioned, outshooting New Mexico 10-8 in the first half. Better of the possession went to New Mexico, about 62-38. It was an even half otherwise as we kind of look at things, and now as both teams are back out on the field, we're about ready for the start of the second half, Nat. And Portland has had opportunities in this building with leads or in a good position to get a result, and they've struggled to get it done in the second half. So what do you want to see out of Portland in the second half to make sure they keep these 3 points?
Well, you know New Mexico is going to come out with a lot of energy, Fletcher, so T2, it's going to be important for them to meet that pressure, meet that energy, make sure that they're absorbing it. And then the transition game has been on for them, just finding Eric Williamson, finding Anguiano in those moments when they win the ball and then transitioning quickly. Calixto and Langsdorff have done a really good job of playing together in this game and continuing to play off each other. So look for them to continue to do that if T2 want to get these 3 points tonight.
We are underway in the second half. Portland Timbers 2, New Mexico United. Foster Langsdorff with the goal in the 3rd minute, the difference thus far, as the field completely in the shade now. As Dizpay's clearance blocked by Frater, does well to shield and keeps it from going out across the end line, and will just put it long towards midfield. Suggs wins the header, controlled by Anguiano. Anguiano does well to keep it in front of Santi. And now up to Sierakowski. Portland would love to end the winless streak here tonight as Sierakowski dribbles to the end line, sends the cross in, but easy stuff for Mizell. Loose touch by Williamson, gives it up to Sandoval, but then Sandoval gives it right back to Portland. Here comes Williamson attacking forward. Looks through for Langsdorff. I think he was caught between how he wanted to play it and then maybe decided to dummy it on, thinking someone was making a run behind him, but no one was there.
Just not on the same page, those two, in that moment. Williamson just trying to play that final ball into Foster Langsdorff. But so far, a good start from T2. Just being organized, being smart on the ball. Obviously saw New Mexico United with the largesse of the possession in that first half, but that's because they're down a goal. They have to come at T2. This is a good opportunity for T2.
Here's Akamatsu, back post. Sends in and cleared away by Wharton.
I think this is a good opportunity, Fletch, for T2 to really play their strength, which is to really sit a little bit lower, absorb some pressure, and then hit New Mexico United on the counter. They're up a goal. The mindset has to be continue to protect the lead, but then try to get that next goal.
It's the 6th time this season that Portland has led at the half. They're 3-1-1 in the previous 5 games, so appear to be in a good position. But obviously, Nat, 1 goal leads. All it takes is 1 moment. You'd certainly like to see them add a second here in the early portions of the second half to give themselves a little bit more cushion.
And I'm really curious, Fletch, just to see what kind of changes Troy Lesane makes to this team. I think with Frater and with Devin Sandoval up top, it just hasn't been as dynamic as they would like New Mexico United. So maybe you subtract one of those 2 guys and you put Wehan underneath one of those big strikers and try to see if you can get a little bit more out of it from the attacking side of things.
It's the 2nd straight game that Todd Wharton has played in that center back role, Nat. He's been playing in the defensive midfield the majority of the season. How do you like him in one of these center back roles?
I like him, Fletcher. He's Mr. Unsung Hero. Just goes about his job, game in, game out. He's so reliable. He's so solid. Obviously has a good positional awareness to be able to move from the holding midfield position to the back line. And he's really, really good on the ball, too. And I think he's just been a really important player for T2 this year, and coming over from RGV and making that transition, he's done it really, really well.
Leads the team in minutes plays as he gives away the ball there, but then quickly wins it back for his team away from Devin Sandoval. Now into space for Sierakowski. Overlapping run coming from Kiner, plays it out to him. Now looking back for Sierakowski, who's onside, picks it up, defended by Guzman. Haven't had to call the youngster Caleb Kiner's name too much tonight. Certainly something he would like, a quiet half in the second half, would Caleb Kiner.
And in talking to folks around the club at the Portland Timbers, talking to Ryan Miller, who's with the academy, about Caleb Kiner and the kind of player he is. He watched him develop, and just he's an athlete, is what Ryan Miller said. Just a guy who's able to move so well for such a young age. He's built so well also. Normally a center back, but playing a little bit out of position at the right back position right now. But definitely he's been solid so far, doing a good job. The young guy of staying at this level. It's very difficult to make this kind of jump at this young age.
Just 16 years and 10 months old, Caleb Kiner, and someone who the Timbers organization clearly excited about. As you look at Nathan Smith playing that left back spot today, making his 18th appearance this season and 14th start is Nathan Smith. Played with LA Galaxy last year as goal and a couple assists this season. His goal was a big one as it came in stoppage time a couple home matches ago and earned Portland a point in a match they seemed destined to lose. So he's come up in big spots the last couple years for Portland, has Nathan Smith.
And you talk to any of the guys on this pitch for T2, they talk about that ability to be resilient, to always feel like they're in a game regardless of the scoreline. And you can see that in moments like that, Fletcher, where it's at the end of the game, it seems like all hope is lost and they're still fighting for that final goal. Really a testament to the mentality of this T2 group and just how well coached they are from Cameron Knowles.
That's something you could say about New Mexico United as well. They've won their fair share of matches and gotten results at end of matches thanks to late game heroics. And one of the matches they earned a point in was April 26th against Portland Timbers 2. T2 had a 3-2 lead in the 3rd minute of second half stoppage time, and Kevon Frater finished off his hat trick with a goal in spectacular fashion that earned his team a point at home in a match that Portland probably feels like they should have gotten the 3 points in. So New Mexico never out of it either. So no matter what the scoreline might be, these are two teams we know will fight to the end. As Akamatsu is offside on the header forward from Sandoval.
And we talked to Devin just about the feeling in the locker room, the feeling amongst the group about this team. And Devin referenced the 2013 Real Salt Lake team we played in together and how special that was, and he related it to this group and just how special it feels to go to training, to be in the locker room, to be on the pitch with these group of players. It just shows that it's been a special season so far for this group as an expansion side, and they've got a really special group.
Foul called there on Smith, rising up to win the header. Cameron Knowles wondering how the foul is called on his guy.
It looks like Smith just leaning in a little bit there. Akamatsu, though, giving up a little bit of ground for his size.
And another foul called on Portland. This time inside the attacking half. As Troy Lesane not happy with the center official either, so both head coaches getting their shouts into the head referee. Here to start the second half. I think Troy Lesane really wanted the ability to play quickly off of that restart because New Mexico just played short anyways. Yeah, my favorite question to ask Devin was what his favorite Nat Borchers story was, and he told us about his rookie season in 2013 and how this Nat Borchers that he spoke of didn't have a beard, and I didn't know who he was talking about as this ball comes in to Devin Sandoval. We'll get back to the story momentarily. Santi crosses it in. Smith heads away only to the corner of the box where Padilla picks it up. Padilla goes down. Ojeda there. Guzman. Pass cut out by Williamson, and here comes Portland the other direction. Numbers if they hurry to Calixtro. Calixtro has an overlapping run from Anguiano. Instead will hold it up. Play to Sierakowski. New Mexico get numbers back. Now to Anguiano. Calixtro. And Sierakowski once again and out wide. Anguiano, plenty of space, will finally shoot, saved and parried away by Mizell, falls to Langsdorff, touches with his right foot, shoots, and blocked.
Just a great spell there for T2, doing a good job of running that ball in transition, up the pitch. Nobody stepping to Anguiano here. He elects to take the shot, left-footed. Good save there from Mizell. Looking just for that far corner there. Mizell with the save. Langsdorff for the opportunity, follow-up here, and it's good defending from New Mexico United to prevent this shot. But really good stuff there from T2.
Goes all the way through the box. Langsdorff gets a shot off, it's blocked, and then Williamson shoots, and it's a goal kick. But once again, danger off the set piece created by Portland. as things seem to have opened up a little bit. Schmidt will go long over the top for Santi, defended by Kiner.
Santi, we really haven't said much about him in this game as well. He's been a really big-time contributor for this New Mexico United team, and really Kiner and Sierakowski, for that matter, have done a really good job of shutting him down on that left-hand side.
Early ball in from Akamatsu. Sandoval gets his head to it, but can't steer it on frame. Back to the story. Now Borchers without a beard. I don't know if anyone in Portland would know what you look like without a beard. That.
Yeah, I think whenever I shave this thing off, it's going to be nice to be incognito for a bit.
Right, there you go. Well, he told us that obviously in 2013 you guys made it all the way to MLS Cup and beat Portland in the process. And Sandoval scored one of the goals in the match at Rio Tinto Stadium. And so basically I told him all that I heard was that he deserves all the credit for you growing out the beard because it was his first season.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Yeah, well, it's funny because during that playoff run, I did decide not to shave all of a sudden, and then that's where this crazy hairy thing started growing on my face, and I kept it growing when I got traded to Portland.
Frater's ball over the top of everyone and out to touch. Yeah, I don't know. You would certainly be incognito for a good long while, I think, before. Well, I don't know. You got a recognizable face, but I don't know without the beard and the mustache, man.
I don't even know what I look like anymore underneath all this. It's a mystery to me.
Wake up, look in the mirror, and not recognize who you see.
Yeah.
57th minute. Ivicic with the easy catch.
I have to say, I've really been impressed, Fletcher, with the way that Diz Pay has gone about his business tonight. He's done a really good job every time the ball has gone wide of box defending, and especially against a guy like Devin Sandoval or Kevon Frater. It's a difficult task to deal with, but he's been up for it. He's used his body really, really well, and in conjunction with Todd Wharton, I think they've both done a really good job of just shutting those two strikers down.
Tete wins the header, but back into Portland's possession. Calixtro's been quiet tonight, playing alongside Foster Langsdorff up top. Calixtro, just 18 years old, from Cornelius, Oregon, just outside of Portland. Pressure starting to move higher from New Mexico. Is Portland able to keep possession? Calixtro will switch it out behind Kiner, who collects and will bring forward in a ton of space. Now central for Sierakowski, who picks it up, has a chance to shoot, shoots, and it's a goal for Ryan Sierakowski from distance to double Portland's lead in the 58th.
What an incredible strike here from Ryan Sierakowski. T2 does a great job of getting this ball wide. Kiner finds Sierakowski into space. He just takes his shot so well, sets it up with that first touch, puts it on his right peg, the less favored right peg, no doubt, and just smashes this ball home. Far post, nothing Cody Mizell can do. Fantastic finish from Sierakowski. T2 are up 2-0 in this game.
Fourth goal of the season for Ryan Sierakowski. He has certainly found his groove in his first professional season after finishing up his collegiate career with Michigan State, the 23rd overall pick by the MLS Timbers in the Super Draft this past winter. As we see our first substitution of the night for New Mexico United, Juan Pablo Guzman out, Tony Soler in. So we see the first move by New Mexico head coach Troy Lesane.
And for Guzman, New Mexico United haven't done a really good job.
As this ball comes through, finds Suggs in the box, picks out Sandoval, top of the box, off the post for Devin Sandoval.
And Kiner just getting played in behind there. Suggs crossing the ball. Great first touch from Big Dev. Should find the back of the net there. Unfortunately, just goes off the woodwork and bounces out. What a great first touch to set himself up right. Smashes it across that far post. Should be 2-1.
Oh, Devin Sandoval will be thinking about that opportunity, as Frater will bring it the other way now. This time, Williamson wins the ball, but Frater gets back to it first. Now out to Akamatsu.
We've just been treated to some delightful chances here, Fletcher. It seems like the guys are upset with the ball for some reason because they're just smashing the ball at the goal. Both teams doing a great job with their chances here. New Mexico United haven't got on the scoreboard yet, but a great opportunity there from Devin Sandoval.
Fans, follow Portland Timbers 2 and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN+, home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN+ and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at espnplus.com. Yeah, it's interesting that as you think about the opportunities that Portland's gotten, they've gotten a ton of space at the top of the box with no pressure. And every time it seems they've gotten the ball within about 5 yards of the top of the 18-yard box, no one from that back line in New Mexico United is willing to come out and put pressure on the ball, and that time Sierakowski made him pay.
Yeah, and I think that's...
As Suggs brings it forward here, we'll send the cross in. Sandoval reached for it with that right boot, but just a little too far out of his reach, and Ivacic collects.
And I think that's a reason for the sub by Troy Lesane, as he felt that they were just a little bit unbalanced in the central of midfield there, and Guzman just wasn't able to get back enough.
Here's a ball over the top from Frater, finds his man, back behind, and cleared away by Wharton. Collected by Anguiano and out to midfield.
That's 3 times in a row that T2's been played in behind on that right side.
And this time Frater is called for the foul as Sandoval finished that one, but Frater, you saw a little tug of the jersey on Dizpay. Don't know how much it affected him, but Dizpay went down and got the call.
Yeah, Dizpay and Kiner need to get on the same page because it was too many times there that New Mexico United was able to get in behind that space, behind those 2 players, and cross the ball, and a very dangerous opportunity for New Mexico United.
You saw Greg Dobka mention to Kayvon Frater, 1, 2, 3, no more. So see the next time the whistle is blown on Kayvon Frater and expect to see a caution card.
Yeah, he's been frustrated tonight, Fletch. I think you can see that in some of his play. Just hasn't been getting the kind of service he's wanted. He hasn't been playing as well as he would have wanted. And that kind of frustration comes out in your game when you're not doing these types of things that you're used to doing.
All over the top from Weehan for Sandoval. Heads it up in the air. And a penalty kick given up by Portland. And they got the youngster this time. Caleb Kiner wrapped his arm around Suggs, I believe it was. And New Mexico will have a chance to cut into the lead in the 64th minute.
Kiner struggled this half. It's a really good first touch there. He's got the arm draped around his waist. There's no question that's a foul, and it's a good call from the referee to call the penalty. It's a clear penalty for New Mexico United.
So for Portland, they've saved 1 of 6 so far this season. And the one save came from Jake Leaker. Ivacic 0 for 2. He gave up 2 penalty kicks against Phoenix. Frater shoots and puts it high.
It just hasn't been Kayvon Frater's night tonight. You can see Ivacic guesses the wrong way. Frater, though, just gets underneath that ball. Can't keep it on frame. You see the disappointment in the body language. Should be 2-1. New Mexico squandering some chances here these last 10 minutes, Fletch.
Frater has 13 goals this year, so you'd imagine that he's always going to be the guy taking that. But there was certainly a big conversation between Devin Sandoval and Kayvon Frater about who was going to take that PK. Sandoval walked away not very happy, and he'll have even more reason to feel that way after that attempt from Frater, who right there is offside.
Yeah, and you wonder if they get another opportunity penalty spot who's going to take that chance, but not the best penalty that we've seen from Kevon Frater, and certainly he'd want to have that one back again.
Tune into ESPN News on August 21st at 4 p.m. for a Wednesday night soccer matchup between two of the best in the East. North Carolina FC welcomes Eastern Conference leaders Tampa Bay Rowdies with playoff positioning battles heating up. See it all August 21st at 4 p.m. on Wednesday night soccer on ESPN News. And there is the yellow card for Kevon Frater. Dispay comes over to confront Frater. Felt that was an unnecessary challenge on Ryan Sierakowski. Frater and Dispay still jawing. Frater's going to go in the book here. And the frustrations continue to mount for the 24-year-old Jamaican.
You see his teammates just having a word with him, trying to calm him down. When it hasn't been your night, you tend to lash out in frustration. Sierakowski just getting on the ball, using his body, and that is a bad foul from Kevon Frater. Not going for the ball, trying to go directly for the player. Could be an argument there for a red card, in my opinion. Certainly reckless there from Frater. There's no business doing that.
Yeah, that's straight frustration, and Troy Lesane, his head coach, had his head in his left hand there for a moment, rubbing his forehead, knowing that things aren't going his team's way, and his star is very frustrated at this point as Portland turns over New Mexico in the attacking third. Calixtro, back post, looking for Ojeda, too far out in front of him, but he collects. Ojeda will float it in towards the box. Tete wins the header. Ojeda shielding Tete away. Second defender comes over, and Ojeda loses it out to touch.
New Mexico just looking a bit unsettled. Fletcher, is this the time for T2 to finish this game off, to find that final opportunity and get this game at 3-0?
Sandoval heads along to Santi. Doesn't do great with his first touch. Wharton keeps possession. Does he win a throw? Yes, he does, in front of Kevon Frater. Wharton has just been a steadying force there along the back line. You wonder if it is just because of numbers that Portland does have Todd Wharton playing there along the back line, because he's not the biggest in stature. He's 6 feet, 175 pounds, so not small either, but hasn't played there all season, hasn't been known for playing there in his career, as Ojeda collects in the attacking third.
Yeah, whether it's a personnel issue or whether it's just a need issue, he's definitely filled the void, and he's done a really, really good job of just playing simple and doing the things that Todd Wharton does well, which is just being consistent and doing the right things on the ball and off the ball.
Well, in this 4-4-2 formation, it fits well. Eric Williamson likes to play in the midfield and attack forward. Anguiano probably isn't going to get forward as much as a player like Williamson. You have Ojeda, who plays so well out on the left, Sierakowski on the right. And then if Langsdorff continues his hot play and they can get Gio Calixtro going, who has a couple goals himself, could have yourselves maybe a bit of a formation change as we head down the stretch. I mean, the results in Colorado Springs midweek, and then if Portland's able to hold on to this lead and get 3 points, start to think maybe momentum shifting back in their direction a bit.
Yeah, and certainly don't want to mess with that kind of momentum if they can get the 3 points here tonight and continue to play well and be solid. I think it's a recipe for success for Cam Knowles.
Here's Akamatsu in central for Frater. Goes by Frater and is seemingly on a plate for Sandoval, and he just can't hit it 8 yards away from goal.
New Mexico still continuing to get chances down this left-hand side. It's a good cross from Akamatsu. The chance, a bite of the apple there from Frater, and then Devin Sandoval has another chance as well. T2's got to be careful here, got to be wary, especially down that left-hand side. Got to get Caleb Kiner in the right positions, make sure that he's not getting beat down that left-hand side.
Langsdorff called for the foul. 70th minute. In case you're just joining us, Fletcher Johnson, Nat Borchers here with you. As Portland looking for their first win since June 22nd. They had been towards the top of the table the entire first half of the season and just hit a bit of a rough patch here. Bunch of matches on the road in the last month and a half or so, but haven't taken advantage of the home matches they have had. They'll have a big run of them coming once we hit the month of September. I'll tell you more about that a little bit later. As they're focused on this one right now, Suggs looking over the top for Akamatsu, but that ball well out in front of him. And across the end line as we'll see the second substitution for New Mexico United. It will be Akamatsu, the Japanese native, coming off in place of Daniel Bruce, who will come on in his first pro season after 4 years at UNC Charlotte, making 63 appearances, scoring 18 goals. The Warrington, England native Daniel Bruce comes on to see if he can make an impact in this match.
I'll have to say it again, Fletcher. I'm surprised to see the lack of involvement in this game from Chris Wehan. He's just been so good for this New Mexico United team in the last few games, and it's been really the linchpin in the attack, and we just haven't seen much from him tonight. Again, I think it's a real credit to Anguiano and Williamson and the rest of the group for just keeping track of him and making sure he hasn't been getting on the ball too often.
The interesting thing is Portland played midweek on the road at altitude in Colorado. Meanwhile, New Mexico United hasn't played since August 3rd, so they've had 8 days off since a 2-2 draw against Austin. Santi gets around Nathan Smith, shoots, and right through the arms of Aljaz Ivacic, and New Mexico has cut the lead in half. 10th goal of the season for the 25-year-old Spaniard.
It's a great switching ball there. 1v1 there. Santi Smith just doesn't do enough. Santi getting in behind. It's a fantastic finish from the number 11. Just winning that 50-50 there. Smashing it into the upper corner. Ivacic, I think, could do better on a different day, but it's a good goal from New Mexico United. Only a 1-goal deficit for the group now.
We talk about Portland's ability to score. That's been one of the issues when it comes to why they haven't been able to get the results. It's had to do with the fact that they have only 2 clean sheets this season. But here they come on the attack once again. Calixtro to Langsdorff. Langsdorff controls in the box, plays across the box, goes down, and a penalty kick awarded for Portland in the 73rd minute. And New Mexico players can't believe it.
Good response here from T2 to get all the way down the field, and it's a nice pass there. Langsdorff just taking his touch wide, able to get the pass off. I'm really not sure how the referee's calling this a penalty. Yeah, he does get fouled after the play, but he's able to get his pass off. Actually, I'm just very surprised at that call. There is contact. Troy Lesane saying the same thing.
Well out of his technical area to talk to the near side official, Seth Martin. Can't believe that call goes against his team. And I think fair to say that Greg Dubka's had a bit of a back and forth day with some of his decisions. This one goes in Portland's favor. It's a big one that goes in Portland's favor as well. Todd Wharton will take the penalty kick. Wharton 2 for 2 so far this season, scored against Fresno and Tulsa. Can he make it 3 for 3 against Mizell? Shoots, and bottom right corner, Portland has the lead back at 2.
See again the foul there. For me, that's not a penalty. There is contact there, but I don't think that's a penalty kick. Referee makes the call though. Todd Wharton stepping up, picking his spot. Mizell chooses the right way, but it's hit low, it's hit hard, it's hit with pace. Cool as you like, Todd Wharton making it 3-1 to T2.
Wharton is the only player so far this season that's taken more than one penalty kick. That is still perfect from the spot. Portland now 7 for 13 on the season. The PK spot has not necessarily been their friend. Well, we're at 3-1 now. The last time these two squared off in April, 6 goals were scored. We've got 4 after it was 1-0 at halftime. It's hard to believe there won't be more fireworks in this one as New Mexico continues to open up, trying to find their way back into this game.
And you're definitely going to see a New Mexico team that is hungry to score goals. And with the firepower they have in the field, Fletcher, no doubt they're going to create some chances. But it's a good response from T2 to go out and get that third goal, not bunkering in, not saying they're okay being up 2-1, going out and getting that third goal. That's a huge goal for the group.
Kiner blocks the cross coming in from Bruce. Now to Soler. Soler takes the time, shoots, and no trouble for Ivicic as that was well high. Fans, the USL unveiled its elite youth platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level across the United States, including the USL Academy Cup. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. Glickstro goes down and is fouled by Schmidt. Well, the response has been good from Portland, and Schmidt shown a yellow card well after the fact, so he becomes the 3rd player for New Mexico United to go in the book this evening.
I think it's the elbow that Schmidt leads with here on the challenge, going to the back of Glickstro. He's feeling it there. Never a good feeling when a center back comes in behind you and just smashes you with an elbow. I believe it was Justin Schmidt getting the card.
Yeah, Schmidt was the player who got the card there. We'll get another chance to take a look at it.
Just see the elbow extended there. Just leaves one in there. It's dangerous play. Certainly deserves a yellow card.
These are two teams that are not afraid to mix it up in the top 7 or 8 in the league in fouls committed this season. And you imagine, or you certainly feel, that as this game slips further and further away from New Mexico, that they're going to be more and more frustrated, given the way that really they played throughout the course of their inaugural season. I mean, 8 wins to just 5 losses, 9 draws, so 17 results in 22 matches. It'd be just the 6th time this season that they don't walk away with at least a point from the match, if this result does indeed hold. Certainly one of the good things about New Mexico United is that shot was blocked from Soler. As ball back into the box, Frater is offside, puts it in, but is deemed offside. So again, warning bells for Portland, but saved by the offside flag of Seth Martin.
And what a clinical finish here from Frater. It's difficult to see from that angle whether he's onside or offsides, but it's certainly a very good finish from the number 10. And he and Devin Sandoval just do such a good job of putting themselves in those spaces in the box. They're just going to be such a handful to deal with as this game continues to go on and T2 continues to fight to keep this lead.
Well, there's no doubt that if USL were to decide to institute video-assisted review like other leagues around the world, that there would be a few decisions tonight that would be looked at, as there have been some close calls that both sides may be frustrated at.
We saw the VAR earn his keep last night in the Timbers game. A couple of handballs and no calls there, and definitely VAR has its place in the game now, and everybody's got an opinion about it, no doubt.
Here's Ojeda, corner of the box, plays in for Calixtro, who tries to play along to Ojeda. This ball's not going to roll along the end line. Portland thought they'd earned a corner kick, but instead it will be a goal kick for New Mexico.
Yeah, that looked like that went off the New Mexico United player. The referee calls it a goal kick.
Santi looking forward for Frater. Boy, what a response from Portland. Just minutes after giving up the goal to Santi, Portland earns a penalty kick, and a clinical finish from Todd Wharton doubles the lead once again. And any hope or good feeling you have if you're New Mexico United about all the work you've done to get yourselves back within a goal is gone just like that. Got to be frustrating as Langsdorff and Calixtro to combine to relieve some pressure for Portland.
And if you're Cam Knowles, you have to feel really good about that response, and you have to feel good overall these 80 minutes, just about the performance of the team as a whole. They've done a really good job defensively, making sure that they frustrate this New Mexico United attack, and then they did a really good job of taking their chances.
Williamson does well to shield Santi off the ball. Williamson does that very well. It's certainly one of the strong points of his game. Not afraid to use his body to keep possession. Williamson finds Calixtro in space in the box. Chance to cross, couple step overs. No one really there as he hit it towards a penalty spot, cleared away by Bruce.
Too many numbers in the box there for New Mexico United. No runners there for T2. But you have to imagine, Fletcher, if T2 can get this next goal, they certainly put this game out of reach for New Mexico United and get the 3 points.
New Mexico picks up possession. The visitors currently in a tie for 5th place in the Western Conference in this their inaugural season. Founded in 2018, they average over 12,000 for their home matches. This is a 4th iteration, if you will, of soccer in New Mexico. The New Mexico Chili's played in the 1990s, then 97 the Albuquerque Geckos played for a couple seasons before leaving, and then more recently the Albuquerque Soul kept possession of the territory down there in New Mexico. And this New Mexico United club is a big deal down in the Albuquerque area, in the New Mexico community. They certainly hope that they'll continue to expand their support, build a soccer-specific stadium in the community, as they currently play at the city's baseball stadium, where one of the major league or minor league affiliates of a major league club play. But there's no doubt that this is a club that is heading in the right direction and will be a force to be reckoned with as time continues to go along. See the third and final substitution from New Mexico. Portland still not having made one. They only have 5 players on the bench to Portland, but familiar face to T2 and Timbers supporters. David Estrada, former Seattle Sounders player, is on. He's the oldest player on this New Mexico roster at 31 years old. Made 41 appearances with Seattle from 2010 to 2014 as Calixtro loses out there.
Yeah, just back to what you were saying about New Mexico and their supporters, 12,000 strong every single game. Haven't been down there to see a game in person, Fletcher, but just watching some of these games on tape, it's amazing to see the electricity in the air and to see how exciting it is to play in that stadium. Devin Sandoval talking about how fans are already in their seats at warm-up, which just gives you such a special feeling as a player, especially at this level at USL. They're doing something special, doing something right down there in New Mexico.
Ojeda is fouled there by Padilla. See if another caution card comes out. Padilla ran into the space of Ojeda, who was trying to run around him, and indeed a yellow card shown.
Definitely a professional foul there. Padilla knowing exactly what he's doing, just getting in the way of the run from Ojeda, who's been pretty active here in this second half.
And that was the second yellow card to Manny Padilla. So he has been sent off. So New Mexico now down a man for the final 6 minutes of this match. Padilla picked up a yellow card in the first half and picked up one there.
Troy Lesane upset and visibly frustrated by the call. This definitely is going to make things a lot easier for T2 to get these 3 points now that Padilla's been sent off. A lot of frustration here from this New Mexico United side, Fletcher. It just seemed like it wasn't their night. They had some good chances, they had some good opportunities. Couldn't finish. A lot of frustration for them because T2 they've just been the better team on the night.
Ethan Smith controls off the chest in front of Estrada, goes down. The foul will be called, but it will be called right on the edge of the box. That was right on the line. And Greg Dobka felt the contact began outside of the box, so it will be a restart for Portland right on the edge.
Yeah, it's a great switching ball here, and it's a good first touch from Nathan Smith. Gives himself in the box. It's really, really close there to being a penalty from Estrada, just coming in from behind. See a little bit better here. Where's the contact at? Looks like it's just outside the box on the, if you're looking at the foot there where it kind of trails that left foot from Estrada.
Anguiano will shoot. Blocked by the wall. Estrada got his head to it, and out for a corner kick.
But ultimately now Fletcher's just up to T2 now to kill this game. Got another 5 minutes and some stoppage time to make sure that they kill it the right way. Be smart, take your time on all the stoppages, set pieces, kill the game off with possession.
Ojeda will play on the ground to Smith. Smith over to Kiner and back to Wharton.
There's tons of space there for T2 to play in. New Mexico playing it down a man. Get the ball to Eric Williamson though. This guy's been so good on the night. Silky smooth on the ball, making the good decisions. Anguiano as well. They've just done such a good job in that central midfield pairing.
And last year was really Renzo Zambrano, Marvin Luria, Eric Williamson that were really the stalwarts in this team, the steadying forces. And now it's Todd Wharton, Eric Williamson when he's in the 11. They're still looking for more players to serve that role for Portland as this ball falls all the way through the box, eventually collected by Frater. Here comes Estrada in space. Soler, top of the box, trying to pick out options. Estrada onside, shoots and scores. And New Mexico United down a man, back within one.
Well, it's just poor defending here at the top of the box from T2. Devin Sandoval allowing that ball to go through. It's an unmarked Estrada in the box. Difficult to see from that angle if he's onside. It looks like he's kept onside by Kiner on that far post. Simple finish there from Estrada. New Mexico United making things interesting at the end of this one.
So things not over yet. As New Mexico tries to stay in this match despite being down a man.
You have to really see what T2's made of now, Fletcher. Up a man, up a goal, at home, desperate for these points. How do they respond now?
They have a minute and a half plus stoppage time. Haven't been too many stoppages here in the second half. We see a corner kick? No, we see a goal kick. Ojeda reached out for it because he didn't know where Bruce was. Bruce was trying to convince the near side official here that Ojeda got a touch to it. Thought about putting that flag down, pointing towards the corner, but instead signaled for a goal kick.
And here's the ball in question. Ojeda lets it bounce. Ugh, so close. I don't think there's a touch there. Bruce is asking for one. Very difficult to see.
Well, one header by Calixtro in front of two New Mexico defenders gives Portland possession.
Ball game, ball game, ball game.
We are into the final minute plus stoppage time here at Providence Park. Fletcher Johnson, Nat Borchers here with you. Portland had a 3-1 lead playing up a man. David Estrada scored a goal moments ago to give New Mexico life. Wharton under some pressure, just forced to give it up. Now to Bruce. Bruce will look for the long switch, trying to pick out Frater. Over the top, great touchdown by Frater, and then Dispay with an important and dangerous, tough challenge to knock it out for a corner kick.
Could be the defensive play of the game there from Dispay. Looks like he's beat initially on this touch from Frater, but he's able to recover so quickly and make that sliding challenge with his right foot. Wonderful defending there from Dispay.
Third corner kick of the night for New Mexico. Ball into the box. Frater called for the foul, taking down Wharton. Frater's interested in getting into physical battles with Todd Wharton, and the experienced defender happy to let Frater earn fouls, as we'll see 4 minutes of stoppage time here at the end of the second half.
Yeah, you'd have to say that Todd Wharton has got the better of Kevon Frater in those battles, those set-piece challenges. Frater definitely looking for some contact, looking for the penalty.
Dispay is up. Well, earlier we were talking about our conversation with Devin Sandoval and his memories of you, Nat, beardless Nat Borchers. Well, our production crew has done some work to go dig up a picture of the aforementioned beardless Nat Borchers.
Who is that guy?
Who is that guy? I don't even reconneize that guy.
I don't even know who that guy is.
I don't know. You're looking good. You're looking good, my man.
Well played, guys. Well played. Just get a picture of me smiling. I look too serious.
Those were in those young days when everything had to be serious,
That's right? That's right.
Good work by Langsdorff, dribbling into the box. No foul called as he was shoulder to shoulder with Schmidt. Now he's got to get back up and track back, as New Mexico will bring it forward quickly.
It looked like he went down just a little bit too easily for the referee there. Not enough contact, I don't think, initially, but he does well to get the run in. That's Schmidt, body to body. No, there's not enough there. He just uses the contact he creates himself to go down, and I don't think it's a penalty in any which way, shape, or form.
Just Cameron Knowles wants to see his team walk away with 3 points tonight. Wharton goes down. Late call on Sandoval. Sandoval looked like he extended that left arm. Call came late, but it did come.
Yeah, Wharton just holding his ground there. Devin Sandoval coming in and putting that old elbow into the back of the head. Wharton going down, just being smart with his body. Again, and it's been a very workmanlike, smart day from Todd Wharton, playing that center back position.
Langsdorff called for the foul there on Schmidt this time. We're through 2 of the added 4 minutes at the discretion of Greg Dopka.
Langsdorff's going in the books for
late whistle comes back for, yeah, as you mentioned, the encroachment. So Langsdorff with the yellow card. And Portland able to clear danger. Here comes Ojeda dribbling forward. Pressured by Bruce, taken down, and Bruce should go in the book for this. Bruce was running full speed and knew what he was doing, taking down Ojeda. And then Ojeda got the worst of it because defender was coming forward, and looked like the back of Ojeda went into the legs of the defender that was coming the other direction.
Yeah, Bruce just pushing off there. It's a pretty dangerous play from him. It's certainly a foul, and it makes it a little more dangerous from the Soler coming in there and the contact that happens. Ojeda just taking a lot of that, but really good work from Ojeda to get in the transition there and run at that New Mexico back line.
There have been some physical fouls in this game. 6 yellow cards shown to New Mexico United, 2 to Portland. We're through the added 4 minutes. I imagine we'll play at least another minute or 2. We've had a couple stoppages. Dispay was down on his back after a corner kick from New Mexico United, and then Ojeda down. Andrew Bruce shakes the hand and apologizes to Christian Ojeda. Troy Lesane, despite not getting the result tonight, should feel happy with how his team has performed throughout the course of the season. For an expansion side to be sitting in 5th place at this point in the year, pretty impressive. As we're now at 94-30. Ball forward. You'd like to see find Langsdorf so he could take it to the corner, but instead New Mexico United maybe 1-2 chances left to bring it forward. Greg Dopka looked at his watch. Here's Estrada. Overlapping run coming from Suggs. Gets the ball in. Anguiano cuts it out, but gives up a corner kick. Are there late game heroics available for New Mexico United? Just certainly got a lot of goals standing in the box right now. Corner kick to come. Goalkeeper comes forward into the box. Langsdorf wins the header. Soler back into the mixer. Knocked away by Dizpay. All the bodies forward for New Mexico United. Goalkeeper staying forward. He gives it up. And there's the final whistle. Portland has come away victorious for the first time since June 22nd. 3-2 against New Mexico United. Now to back and forth performance from Portland. Showed some great moments, showed some that have gotten them into trouble during this winless run, but in the end, a win is a win, and Cameron Knowles and the Portland Timbers 2 side are off the schneid.
Yeah, this was a big result for this group. So many big-time plays. I think overall the performances were really good. Up the middle of the spine of the team, I think Wharton, Dizpay did really well. Anguiano, along with Eric Williamson, and then the 2 strikers, Calixtro and Langsdorf. Just really solid performances and some bangers of goals. Langsdorf with the big one, Sierakowski, and of course Todd Wharton with the game winner.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look back at the match highlights that produced 5 goals tonight between these 2 sides. To start off in the 3rd minute, Foster Langsdorf made his presence felt early, Nat.
He certainly did, and this is the way you want to start a game. Ball just doesn't get quite cleared by New Mexico United, and Foster Langsdorf says, okay, I'm going to take that one, and he just smashes this thing into that corner. What great technique. What great timing for Foster Langsdorf. 3rd minute.
Goals in consecutive matches for Foster Langsdorf, then a chance for New Mexico in the 40th.
Yeah, Suggs wide open there on the back post. Ivicic in a good position. Definitely a warning sign there for T2. Have to do better marking up on that back post.
New Mexico gave Portland space at the top of the box all night long. Ryan Sierakowski finally would make them pay for it in the 2nd half.
He certainly did, and it's Caleb Kiner just getting the ball, running at space here, then cutting it back to Sierakowski, who takes his first touch well and just smashes it with his right foot. There's absolutely nothing Cody Mizell can do but watch it fly past his glove. What a banger from Ryan Sierakowski.
Things really started to heat up at this point. At the hour mark, it was Devin Sandoval who nearly got New Mexico United on the board.
Mexico United had chances in this 2nd half, but they just couldn't convert. This was a big one from Devin Sandoval. Just ricochets that one right off the post. Really good technique from Big Dev there. Couldn't get it to find the inside corner, though.
We moved 3 minutes later, and it was New Mexico that earned a penalty kick.
And here's just a little bit of inexperience from Caleb Kiner. Clear penalty. Kevon Frater just could not convert, despite Ivicic going the wrong way. Just was not his night, Frater.
Frater would pick up a yellow card shortly after. 72nd minute, New Mexico finally found a goal.
Yeah, it's a good switching ball there from Suggs, and he just gets 1v1 with Nathan Smith, and it's a fantastic finish from Santi. Just rifles that one in. I think Ivicic could do better on a different day, but they'll take it, New Mexico United. It was 2-1 there.
And then 2 minutes later, Portland, great coming the other direction.
Yeah, it's a great response there. It actually was, in my opinion, not a penalty, despite the contact there from New Mexico, but it's a great finish from the man who had such a solid game, Todd Wharton, to find that 3rd goal.
87th minute, this was after New Mexico had a player sent off, David Estrada.
Yeah, it's just well worked there from the New Mexico team. Good movement. Big Devin leaves the ball there for Estrada. David Estrada just scoring there. It's a wonderful finish. He's wide open. Nothing the goalkeeper can do. Made things a little bit tense in the final moments.
New Mexico United had hope, but Portland was able to seal the deal and earn a 3-2 victory here tonight that ends the 7-match winless run and ends New Mexico's 3-match unbeaten run. as we take a look at what is coming for Portland. They'll be back in this building on the 16th this Friday against Oklahoma City Energy. Then out on the road for 2, and then the month of September, they play 4 matches at home, and then in the midst of a 6-match home run. So opportunities for Portland to pick up a bunch of points and pull themselves back up towards the top of USL Championship's Western Conference. Those games at Las Vegas, at Reno, a week apart, will be difficult in the late summer heat down there in Nevada, but then a long stretch of home matches to come after that. Well, that'll do it for us here this evening from Providence Park. Portland Timbers 2 get the victory tonight over New Mexico United, 3-2. Goals from Foster Langsdorff, as well as Todd Wharton and Ryan Sierakowski to get the job done against their Western Conference foe, New Mexico United. For our entire production team behind the scenes, as well as my partner Nat Borchers, I'm Fletcher Johnson. We'll talk to you Friday night for Portland Timbers 2 and Oklahoma City Energy right back here at Providence Park.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.